Nobody talks about this side of stuttering. It's not just about speech, it's about what happens before speaking. Most people who see stuttering just see the stuttering and the blocking, the facial distortion, and they do not see the mental anguish, the torture that goes on for hours before speaking. Thinking about speech, changing words, avoiding situations, avoiding words or sounds. And today I want to explain the parts of stuttering that you do not see. Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. McCool. I'm a GP from Ireland with a stutter who runs a free online platform called Stutter Connect, which you're all welcome to join. Link is in the description below, where I'll speak to you personally there. And you can speak to other people from around the world who struggle with stuttering, gaining tips, tricks, and how to navigate a life with a stutter. One of the biggest things that no one talks about in relation to stuttering, not even speech therapists, is the anticipation. Normal people do not think about how they say things, they just say things. But people who stutter are always scanning, analyzing, prejudging, and what they're going to say. If they had difficulty with a previous sound in the past, such as a vowel sound, and they know they have to say a vowel sound, this will cause them unnecessary stress and anxiety. Or if they got into difficulties saying their own name in the past, and they know they have to say their name because they cannot switch this word to use an easier word. There's some words that you cannot switch: your name, your phone number, where you're from, your date of birth. That is why these things can cause extra difficulties with people who stutter, as there is no outlet, there's no escape door. This anticipation causes anxiety and stress and trouble with people's mental health who have a stutter. And this is what I used to do. But now to this day, I do not anticipate speech anymore. I say what I want when I want. I don't avoid words or sounds. I speak how I want, and I am no longer afraid of any sounds or any words or saying my name. I'm happy to stutter in front of people, and I do not care about the judgments or lack of judgments in other people how I say things, because I realize most people do not care about how I say things, they care about what I have to say. Stuttering causes avoidance behavior. I see this all the time. I speak to people on Stutter Connect and they avoid things all the time. They avoid getting into the relationship they want. They avoid applying for the job. They avoid setting up a YouTube page. They avoid everything because they live in fear. Their whole psyche, their whole lives are defined by having a stutter. Their own personality is defined by their speech, or so they think. They think that they are a person who stutters and everything else goes along with it, but this is not true. Most fluent speakers are not thinking about your stutter or how you say things. They are thinking about your value, how you show up to the world, how you treat them, and they're not thinking about how you say things. I used to avoid things all the time. I used to avoid ordering the food that I want, ordering the drinks that I want, because I was afraid to stutter in front of people. But once you stop living in fear, once you start showing courage to say what you want, when you want, and not caring if you stutter, this is where true stuttering freedom starts. I was shackled by having a stutter, but the shackles is the running, the avoiding situations and words. The real freedom is facing who you truly are, facing your stutter, getting happy to stutter in front of other people, using voluntary stuttering, helping you control your stutter. Then there is the emotional impact of stuttering. Stuttering can have profound effects on people's mental health. They feel different, they feel lonely, they feel cast out, they have depression, anxiety, poor self esteem, negative self talk, all because they have a stutter. And the stutter has caused them to avoid achieving goals in their life, and they feel more unsuccessful, they feel behind their peers, and it's a negative stuttering cycle. The more trouble with mental health it causes, the more stuttering happens. The more stuttering that happens, the more mental health difficulties people with a stutter get into. And where does the cycle end? The cycle ends by using CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Bad things happen to everyone in this world. No one is exempt from bad things happening, but it's about how you react to the bad thing. It's about how you react to a stutter. Someone may stutter in public. Person A is really annoyed by that, is feeling terrible and anxious because they stuttered in public. Person B does not care. They do not care that they stuttered. They move on. They stop the negative self talk, the negative speech towards themselves. They stop feeling low and anxious, and they are not bothered by having a stutter. Try to be like person B. Bad things happen, but you don't need to make it worse by reinforcing those negative thoughts, those negative self talk about that bad thing. Choosing to suffering is a choice. You either choose to suffer or choose to live suffer free. I live suffer free. I used to judge my stutter in such a negative light. I used to be worried about it. I used to be depressed about my stutter, but I'm no longer like that. I stutter and I don't care that I stutter anymore. I'm happy that I stutter, and ironically, I stutter less because of this. I have more control over my speech because I care less, because I've used cognitive behavioral therapy techniques to stop the mental anguish, stop the mental struggle, and help me deal with stuttering. And ironically, it's helped me deal with other negative things in my life. I'm a more resilient person. I'm a more courageous person and hardworking person as a result of having gone through a stutter and having used these CBT techniques to help me overcome the mental anguish and the emotional toll that comes along with having a stutter. Life is too short to be held down by the shackles of having a stutter. You will be old one day, you'll be on your deathbed one day. Do not waste your life worrying about your stutter. Go out, apply for the jobs, put yourself out there, like jump in the deep end of life. Stop overthinking things, lead with action. Act now because time is running out. Act now and showing up and showing people that you have a stutter, speaking about your stutter, applying things, putting yourself out there, going after your goals with daily action. Do not let how you speak hold you back in any way, because I realize this too late and I don't want you to realize it too late. But for the rest of my days, I'm not letting stuttering hold me back. I'm leading with action, daily action, and achieving my goals. And this makes me feel better about myself. I have more positive self talk. I feel better about myself, better self esteem, less anxiety. I feel better about myself, more confident in myself, and more control over my speech. It all comes from choosing not to suffer, daily action, and striving towards your goals, and living with a stutter, not running away from a stutter, not trying to become a fluent speaker, as too many people who I speak to on Stutter Connect are trying to be fluent speakers. It's like a dog chasing his tail. It's never going to happen. Reframe your goals, make your goals realistic. But you don't need to be a fluent speaker. You still can be a great communicator. You can still have a great life. You can still have great control over your speech and enjoy speaking once again. And you do not need to be a fluent speaker. You can be a person who stutters and be proud to have a stutter and get a lot of meaning from trying to become a great communicator, even helping other people with a stutter, which you can do so on my stutter platform, Stutter Connect, my WhatsApp or Discord group. Comment below, what do you think is the parts of stuttering that is not spoken about in society? What are you finding difficult about your stutter? What has helped you in your stuttering journey in your life? I want to hear everything. Like this video, share it with a friend with a stutter, and join my Stutter Connect Discord group and WhatsApp, where I will speak to you personally and we can practice speaking together, becoming great communicators, and start enjoying ourselves once again in our speaking journeys. Best luck, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.